political brawl in the Nationals party room has widened the rift in the coalition over the future of coal. Disgruntled Queensland MPs are trying to lock the Prime Minister into a more pro-coal position. It's left everyone trying to read signs of shifting policy and our political leaders, from both sides, dodging questions and talking about hypotheticals.
My question is to the Prime Minister. The proponents of the Collinsville coal power plant have said it will require a taxpayer indemnity from carbon risk, which the Australian Industry Group says could cost taxpayers $17 billion. Will the Prime Minister provide that indemnity?
Our government believes in jobs. We believe in jobs in North Queensland, we believe in jobs in northern Tasmania.
An immediate issue in the brawl has been a proposal to build a so-called clean coal-fired power station at Collinsville in Queensland. In March last year, ahead of the federal election, the Prime Minister foreshadowed the government would fund a feasibility study into the proposal. The move appeased Queensland National MPs and helped shore up the coalition vote in regional Queensland. But after the election, little happened. Backers of the plan have since advocated various forms of government support, including a loan from the Northern Australia Infrastructure Facility. They have also sought a government promise that any future price on carbon would not apply to them. Nothing was heard of the Collinsville feasibility study until 6 a.m. on Saturday morning, when, after a bruising week of Nationals brawling, it was announced that the government would put $4 million into the study. 730 understands that the $4 million will go straight to the company proposing to build the plant, Shine Energy Proprietary Limited, not be put out to a government tender, which government sources say is consistent with the approach of former governments.
I've welcomed this week the government's policy to support the development of a business case for the Collinsville coal-fired power station. It's absolutely, essentially required, in my view. We should at least have a look at this.
But with the government having finally dipped its toe in the water of taxpayer support, it raises the question of exactly what both sides of politics are willing to fund when it comes to coal-fired power.
Should the government be funding a feasibility study for a new coal-fired power station?
No!
Of course, it's not clear what such a study would find.
I think it's a waste of money, but equally it may be a waste of economic money. It may not be a waste of political money. So if that's what's necessary to show that this is not a viable project, then that would be, in some ways, it may almost be worth it.
So Labor is locked into a position of no financial support of any kind for new coal-fired power, a position which carries some significant political risk in Queensland. The Prime Minister has a different political problem now, which is that once you start suggesting you are prepared to put a little bit of money into coal-fired power, you are on a slippery slope, as he found in the House yesterday.
The question goes specifically to the indemnity and the taxpayer-funded indemnity.
I know where Collinsville is, you mightn't, Mr Speaker. I know where the jobs are in Collinsville. The matter that the member has raised with me in this question is not currently before the government. It's not currently before the government, Mr Speaker. It's not before us.
Queensland independent Bob Katter has a close connection to the area, and he doesn't think a coal-fired power station of the scale proposed is a good idea.
Oh no, they're proposing a massive sized power station. I love Collinsville, so I want to see it live again, right? But so long as we keep it at 200 megawatts, it won't adversely affect the price of electricity in North Queensland, and that's where we want to go, right? But I am afraid other forces in the National Party just want to make a big noise and know themselves.
The bigger problem for both sides of politics is not coal-fired power stations, but the future of coal mining. Support for coal mining is currently an entrenched bipartisan position.
Now, we have a great coal resource that we export to the world, and there's bipartisan support to maintain strong exports of coal to the world.
But like the question of new coal-fired power, the issue of coal mining may rapidly be turning into one of market power rather than just simply climate change politics.
If this was a business, Australia Inc. would be saying, well, we may think our customers are going to be around for a while yet, and most of them will be, but our long-term strategy needs to be, they may not be. So what's plan B? Where's the strategy that says we have to find a way of thinking about the future? And now's the time to do it, not when we're only 5 years away from coal disappearing. How do we turn the ship around gently so we are prepared for what I think is a long-term inevitable outcome? And no corporation in the world would simply ignore that sort of strategic impact on their business.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.